Hello, welcome to a new video. So as you can see from the title, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I decided today would be a great idea to piss off Percy Jackson fans. And don't get me wrong, I am in fact a Percy Jackson fan myself, but I feel like I might have some controversial opinions. I don't know, but I feel like lately when you look at everything going on with people and Percy Jackson, people have very aggressive opinions. And I don't know, I thought it would be fun to share my opinions as well. So today we're tier ranking every Percy Jackson book I have ever read. I think it's about 30 or something. I'm not sure how many he has written in total, but I have read quite a few. I think I've read almost every book in the Percy Jackson universe, and I haven't really read any of the other books that don't have anything to do with the Percy Jackson world. But for example, Magnus Chase and the Kane Chronicles also is obviously in the Percy Jackson world. Okay, let's start. So here we have my tiers. The first one, Sally Jackson would write these. I think that's self-explanatory. Then the next I have Percy would approve. Next I have could use some nectar. So it's sure, but could use some nectar. And then the next one is not prophecy worthy. Then again, neither Kane Chronicles nor Magnus Chase are about prophecies, but you know what I'm trying to say. And the last one is should have stayed in Tartarus. So let's go. Obviously we're starting with Percy Jackson and the Olympians. So the first book, The Lightning Thief. It's a hard one for me because I really like it. Obviously it's the first book, so I feel like everyone likes it because it's the beginning, you know? I don't know. But I think for now I'm gonna put it in Percy would approve because it's good. But I feel like there are definitely better books. Obviously Sally Jackson could also write this, but you know what I mean. The second book is, why do I have Battle of the Labyrinth? Okay, that's in here twice, I don't know why. The next one is The Sea of Monsters. I gotta be honest, I really like The Sea of Monsters, but I feel like from the first series it is one of the weaker ones, if not the weakest one. So I'm gonna put it in could use some nectar, okay? Because I do like it, but I feel like there are better ones. Next one's the Titan's Curse. That is actually my favorite book from the whole series. Not just this series, from any series. So yeah, exactly. Because my favorite character is Nico D'Angelo, and he has always been my favorite character, not just became it in Heroes of Olympus. I loved him from the minute I opened the third book and he was introduced, so that's all. Next we have Battle of the Labyrinth, which for some reason is tiered twice. I don't know why. I'm not sure about that one because I feel like Battle of the Labyrinth is really fun, but I don't know if it's on purpose because it's about the labyrinth, but I feel like a lot of stuff was really random and I was just confused most of the time. And I'm just not sure if that was on purpose or not, because if it was, great writing by Rick, but I just don't think it was. So I'm gonna put it in Percy would approve. Do I think it's better than The Lightning Thief? I mean, a lot more happens because The Lightning Thief is the introduction, so there's not that much that happens there. I think I'm gonna... Okay, let's get to the last one in this series, The Last Olympian. I gotta be honest, I know that I think this one is a favorite for a lot of people because it's the last one, I'm guessing, so it's the big battle that we've been waiting for. I gotta be honest, I don't really care about it. When I reread the books, I usually just reread the third one and the fourth one because those are the most interesting ones in my opinion. So we're just gonna, yeah. Okay, next. The question is, I think I'm gonna put the I don't know. Because technically, in the order of like the book series, the next ones would be Chalice of the Gods and Wrath of the Triple God. So I'm just gonna do them next. Obviously, Wrath of the Triple Goddess was the last one that I read because it just came out 2 months ago. Chalice of the Gods, I do enjoyed it quite a lot, and it was just so nice just to see Percy again, because we had been with so many other characters, so I missed them, you know. So it was really, I think I'm gonna put it over here, but I think that's also mostly the nostalgia of just being so happy to have Percy back again and just seeing him again and just hearing him talk. Like, that was just so nice. But I think it's mostly like the emotion behind it for me. I actually do think the first book series is better, but right now I'm just in like the state of like, you know? I think Wrath of the Triple Goddess I will put over here though, because I did like it, but I also thought it was a little bit, I don't know if I would call it boring, but I didn't love it. And I also didn't like the whole, I don't know, thing about the animals, because like Hestia has these animals, and like one of them was actually a person before, and she still really treats them like animals, and it really weirds me out, because like technically that's still a person, it just doesn't look like a person. Why are you going like, come here doggy, you know, like did not like that, so we're putting it over here. So next I read the Demigod Files. I gotta be honest, I just don't remember anything about them. So I guess they're not prophecy worthy because I don't even remember them. I also read these in-between books that were like Percy Jackson, Greek Gods and Greek Heroes, where he just explains the stories. Sorry, also gonna put them in not prophecy worthy because they were there and they were fine. Like, they were fun, obviously, because I love Percy Jackson, but they were just not, you know? Okay, so now we're getting into Heroes of Olympus, which I know that it's the favorite series of a lot of people, and I do also like it a lot, but don't know if that's a hot take. I was really annoyed with all of the main characters. Also Percy and Annabeth, because I feel like it just always was about relationships and crushes, and I know they're supposed to be in that age where you think about that, so it makes sense. But still, when I was that age, I wasn't only thinking about boys, you know what I mean? Like, I was still thinking about other things, and I feel like it didn't even matter which POV. In every POV of every character, it was always like, oh, Hazel is so hot, oh my god, Piper is so hot, oh my god, look at Jason, look at Percy, and then there's Leo just being like, I'm so alone, and I don't know. I just didn't love the series, but the plot points in itself obviously were insanely good. So The Lost Hero, gotta be honest, I don't really like any of the main characters in this book. I don't know, this might be where it gets very controversial for people, but I do not like Jason, I do not like Piper. I sometimes like Leo. Like, he's definitely the one that I like the most in the book. Let's go with this one, which is kind of sad because that's literally the book where we get the big prophecy about the Seven, but not prophecy worthy to me. It's just like, let me just explain. So I really don't like Jason and Piper, mostly because I feel like they're just not really doing much. Like, especially Piper. And Piper has such an interesting power. So when I first met her in the books, I really liked her power because I thought it was so different from everyone else's, because like Percy can just throw around water, Jason can throw around storms, like, you know what I mean? It's pretty big and obvious. And it was so interesting to see like the charm speak, and I was so intrigued. I was like, what does this entail? Can she only charm speak people? Can she also charm speak objects? Could she make anything do whatever she wants? How does this work? And also more of like the internal turmoil of, what if I make my friends do something? Because basically that's like taking away their freedom of life. So it was so interesting to me, but then they didn't really do much with it. Like, she only, spoiler, by the way, she only helps a little bit by talking Gaia to sleep, and that's it. And I don't know, I feel like we also never really saw her train her ability. And I think it's such an interesting ability. Like, if you really train it, would you be able to just say, like, stop, and a full army would just stop and not move anymore? Like, I want to know. And could you control who gets affected by the charm speak so that you could only make it work on the people that are on the bad side, I guess, that you're fighting against and not against your friends? Like, it would be so interesting, but we just don't get to see that at all. So that's my thoughts on Piper. I talked about it so long, oh my goodness. Anyways, I also want to talk about Jason for a second. Jason, I don't know, I feel like he's just supposed to be this really great big hero, just like Percy, technically, for everyone is. But he just doesn't really do that much. I don't know, but I feel like he just doesn't really do that much, because it's literally a running gag in the story that he always gets hit with something on the head and then he's just unconscious for most of the time. And I just feel like he's supposed to be this really, really strong person because he's literally the child of the most powerful god, I guess. But we just don't really see much of it. Like, I know he can fly, I know he can get like some thunder and lightning, but when does he really use it so that we can see, you know? And so he's just always unconscious. In my mind, he's just always unconscious, and it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you even here? I don't know. And then also we have Leo. I don't enjoy him whining about relationships all the time. I know that's not really easy when you're in war, but also stop whining about it then, because it's just not what you should be focusing on right now. I do like Leo though. I think his jokes are sometimes funny. Also, another point where I really don't like Piper and Jason, I feel like they're supposed to be three best friends, but we never see that at all. Like, usually in Piper's POV, we're always like, oh my god, and Jason's here and he looks so pretty, oh my goodness. And in Jason's POV, it's like, oh damn, she's so hot, and like, I really like her. And then anytime Leo says anything, they're both like, oh, not Leo again, oh my goodness, can't he leave us alone? And I get it, because like, you like each other, but he's also supposed to be your best friend. And I hate when people only focus on their relationship and forget about the friends, because I think friendship is maybe even more important than the relationship, because you don't know if the relationship's gonna last, but usually friendships last a long time. So I just really didn't like it, because anytime Leo said or did anything, they were just always like, oh, Leo, just shut up, why are you even here, what are you doing? Even though when you really read this book, Leo was the one doing most at any time, because like I said, Jason's always unconscious and Piper is just not able to use her abilities yet. And so Leo is literally the only one doing anything most of the time in this book. So yeah, I have a lot of opinions on this. Sorry. We're finally gonna get to the next book now. So let's get to the Son of Neptune. I was obviously excited because I was one of those people that was like, who is Jason? And why should we care about him? I really like this book. I'm gonna put it over here. I don't think it's better than the other original books. So I really like that one, but it's gonna stay in the back, I guess. I also need to talk about the new characters that we meet here as well. I'm gonna try to make it shorter. I don't like Frank either. He's really whiny and just crying all the time. And it also annoys me that his, like, character arc is about being whiny, that he's weak. But then he doesn't do anything to become strong. He just magically gets a power-up from his god daddy. And then he's just magically, like, strong and badass and powerful. And he just didn't do anything to achieve that. He just got it gifted. And then he's still whiny. So I don't like Frank. I love Hazel. Hazel is, I would say, my favorite from the new characters. I think I have like a thing for the children of Hades and Pluto, I guess. I really like them. Obviously love Percy. Love Reyna. I think that's all for the... Oh my goodness. No, I forgot in the last book. Coach Hedge. I'm sorry. I don't like anyone calling anyone Cupcake. Not just in this book. Arcane Season 2 just came out and I still hate Cupcake. Don't call anyone Cupcake. I don't know, maybe it's because of my personal past, but I do not like people calling anyone Cupcake, okay? I just hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I also don't like that he's just always trying to kill everyone and just wants to go into war. But I really like his character arc. Good for him and his girl and his baby. Love that for them. I mean, be happy, but be happy somewhere else where I'm not, you know? Okay, next book, Mark of Athena. I gotta be honest, I don't really remember what happens other than the ending, which was fun. So we're gonna, I think, put it after this one. The thing is, I also haven't read most of these books in a while. So maybe I should have reread them before I made this video, but I didn't do that. So maybe I don't even agree with my ranking in like a few days. But I don't care. So the next book is The House of Hades. We're just gonna leave it there. Because it's obvious. We love the character development from most of the characters. We love Annabeth and Percy learning so much more about their relationships and basically going through hell together and surviving and being amazing and the best couple I've ever seen. Yeah, I think that's it. Blood of Olympus, I gotta be honest, I also don't really remember that much that happens in this book, so is it bad if I put it over there? I don't know, but I also don't care. Alright, we're through with the Percy Jackson books, I think, right? So like the Percy Jackson books. So now let's get to the Kane Chronicles. I gotta be honest, I really did not like any of these books. I'm really sorry. I don't know. So the first one is The Red Pyramid. Do I remember anything from this book? I mean, I know Sadie and Carter. I did like them as characters. They were very fun and an interesting dynamic with the siblings. I also liked the way that it was written with like the recordings and Sadie would just talk over Carter all the time. So that was really fun, but the story itself, I was just bored most of the time when I read these. Maybe it was also because I read these later, so when I was already older, so maybe I just wasn't the target demographic anymore. But I'm sorry, I think we're gonna get through these pretty fast because it's like, what's the last one? I don't know, I just didn't care about them, sorry. They're not bad, so like they shouldn't have stayed in Tartarus, and I feel like I'm not gonna put any books in there because I love every book of his, but were they prophecy worthy? Definitely not. So now we're getting back into the fun ones again. Magnus Chase! I gotta be honest, I also read these books way later, so I'm pretty sure I had like a phase where I thought I was too cool and too old for Percy Jackson, and then I decided that was dumb. And so then I read all of the later ones, including actually a few books from the Apollo series. We're gonna get there. Yeah, I really like the Magnus Chase books, even though I read them basically right after I read the Kane Chronicles. So let's start with the first one, which was the Sword of Summer, right? Which one is the cover? I can't see it. It's so tiny. Okay, I think it's the one with the wolf, right? I'm not really sure which one I like best of these, but I did like it a lot. So it's definitely... Did I like it more than these ones? I feel like I did. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put it before some of the Heroes of Olympus books, but still after most of the original Percy Jackson books. Then the next one, I'm not sure which one was the second one. The Hammer of Thor, right? Or was the Ship of the Dead? No, I think Ship of the Dead was the last one. But Hammer of Thor, I don't really remember. All I remember is I'm pretty sure Alex comes in this book. So just for them, we're putting it up here. If they come up in the third one, then it's the third one. I need to look it up because I would feel bad otherwise. Magnus Chase. Goodness knows the wicked lives are lonely. Goodness knows the wicked die alone. Like, we must have had some character development for Alex, no? Yes. So I was right. Alex does come up here. But I also just liked all of the characters so much. I really liked all of their character arcs. I just really love all these characters, and I think it was just so fun. I also really liked, what was her name? I'm sorry, it's been a while since I read it. Sam? Was she the one? I feel kind of bad. What if it's not her? I think her name is Sam, though. I thought it was so funny because in one of the books, she's doing Ramadan and she's just always a little bit weaker because she can't eat. All the others are like, are you good? And she's like, I'm fine. And yeah, I love that for her. So now back to the book. So the third one, I think, is the Ship of the Dead. I'm gonna put it in Percy Would Approve, but I genuinely don't remember what happens. I just remember, I think it was the book where there was, maybe because it's the Ship of the Dead, maybe, and they were talking about it being made of toenails the whole time, and I was disgusted. Because I have a thing, like, I get disgusted pretty easily, and I was just like, no, don't even remind me. Anyways, okay, almost done with the book series. So now we're getting into Trials of Apollo. Little backstory here. I started these books when I was younger and reading Heroes of Olympus, and after I finished Heroes of Olympus, I wanted to read the next book series, so I started the first one. It was fine. I didn't love it. Honestly, it was fine. I also started the second one when it came out afterwards, and it was also fine. So it just took me a while to get through them, and I got bored. And so then, since the other ones weren't out yet when I wanted to read them, I think, I just wanted to wait till they came out, but then I forgot about them because I just didn't care enough. And yeah, then I also read them when I read like the other ones, like Kane Chronicles and Magnus Chase. When I read these, I also read them. So whatever that's gonna say about my ranking, we'll see. So the first one, The Hidden Oracle. Am I gonna be mean? I mean, maybe I called the ranking a little too aggressive. Let's just imagine this is just like, I just don't like them. I didn't care, because for me it's not that I hate something. Usually I just don't care. Like, I just you know, so let's just call this one the tier rank, okay? And we're gonna put the first one and also the second one in there because I did not care. But then I'm pretty sure for the third and fourth and fifth one, it got a little bit better. I don't really remember anything that happens except, spoiler, Jason dies obviously in the series, we know that, which I also wasn't surprised by, and I also didn't care because I just didn't care about him. I think I feel about Jason the same as I feel about these books. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't hate them. It's not that I have like aggressive opinions or like thoughts about them. I just don't care about them. And what was kind of annoying me though, that in the, I think, third book is where he dies. I think in that book, that was the first time where Jason actually got some character, because before he was just there and he wasn't doing anything and he didn't have any character. And the first time they kind of gave him some character was obviously just to make it more emotional and painful when he died. So I feel like he only got some character development and like some character and something that drives him. He only got that because then it would be sadder when he dies. And I don't know, that just feels kind of wrong to me. Yeah, so maybe I just... I'm sorry, I think I'm gonna put all of them in here because I just didn't care about them. It doesn't mean let's just rename this in I just don't care. Okay, last book, and it's actually one that I liked a lot. I know that it also gets a lot of criticism. Jesus, what a word. I know that it also gets a lot of criticism because it kind of didn't feel as natural. And I do agree. And I also do think it was kind of fan service. But then again, I am a fan. And I got served. So we're just gonna put it like over here. I think it's the same as with the other Percy Jackson books, the newer ones, that it's just like, I'm just happy that we get to see these characters. Obviously, like I said before, Nico is my absolute favorite character, so I was happy to have a book about him, but it clearly wasn't perfect, but I just loved it because I love these characters. So yeah, I think I'm done now. I think I'm happy with this. I think I like the way this looks. Yeah, no, I think I like it. So those were my thoughts and opinions about these books. You can tell me what you thought about them. I hope I didn't offend anyone because it's literally a book and they are fiction characters, so it's just not that serious. But I really love Percy Jackson, if you couldn't tell, because usually when I get emotional about something, either if I love it or like in a, I guess, hating way, that still means that I care. You know what I mean? Because like I said, about the Apollo books, I just don't care. Like they're just there. They exist for me and that's all. And that clearly tells me that I don't have any feelings for it, so I don't like the book series. But when I have characters that annoy me, that I hate, but also characters that I love and really appreciate, that's when I like think something is good for me, you know? And I really think you could tell because I hated on some characters, but I actually love Heroes of Olympus. So even though I don't like most of the 7 characters, I love the book series. Okay, so yeah, that was all from me. I think this was really fun. I really just love to talk about Percy Jackson. I think that's why I made this video, because I just want to talk about it, but I didn't know how to make the video otherwise. So I thought, why not go through all the books that I know and have read and talk about my opinions about them. Yay! Okay, I'm really happy with this list, and I'm really happy that you stayed till the end, because if you did, I'm pretty sure the video is gonna be really long, so if you did, thank you so much, honestly. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say today, so thank you for watching. Bye!